So if you just wait for inspiration to hit, you're never going to get inspired, and you're going to keep moving backwards because you're wasting the most valuable asset. You're wasting time. Inspiration will hit when you already have a momentum going. So it's like you have to start the engine. You got to warm up the engine. If you're driving a car, if you're playing basketball, you're skateboarding, you got to warm up your muscles. Move everything around. So same thing with content, same thing with making music. If you want to be able to perform at a professional level and be able to improvise and creatively create something great, you've got to have a momentum going. And that means that the stuff that you do at the beginning is not going to be the best. Most people are too worried about, oh, I'm going to put this out or I'm going to make this and it's not going to be good. Yeah, that's true. I honestly feel that way right now. My last few videos haven't been doing as well as I've wanted them to, and that's prevented me from making videos consistently. And now I'm like feeling a ton of resistance because I'm not in the rhythm anymore of making videos every day. But I know if I want to succeed and start to chisel away and find what you guys want to see, I need to go and do it every day. And if I need to make a bunch of crappy videos, that's okay. I got to keep it gutter, and I got to practice the correct creation cycle. This is a system I developed, the correct creation cycle, triple C. You create it, and then you release it. It's very simple. You create and you release within the same time frame. And you practice that. Most people just practice creation, and then they hold up and they get creatively constipated because they're holding all their ideas, and they're getting them all in their head, but your head is not reality. So then you think about it too much, you overthink, and then you just become paralyzed and creatively constipated. Nothing comes out, and then the energy doesn't come to you anymore, the inspiration, and it's over. Then you just keep going backwards and backwards. And how do you get out of that? If you're stuck in that, you take action. You take imperfect action. You keep it gutter. You keep it raw, and you create and you release. Why do you need to release? Because you need to get feedback. You need to see if what you're actually thinking is going to come true, which 90% of the time, no, it doesn't. And then you need to also face that fear, and you need to let go of that control. Face the fear of judgment of others, of putting yourself out there, and then you need to lose the control. Because you think it's going to happen a certain way, you got inspired by a certain way, you received the inspiration, and an image was placed in your head about how this can play out, how this can benefit you. But you have to practice, create, and release, because 90% of the time, it's not going to play out exactly how you thought. Not going to play out how you thought. And you need to be okay with that, but you need to also be able to recognize, oh, it didn't play out how I wanted it to, but look at this interesting thing here, and let me start to move and look in this direction. It will give you things, the universe will give you things that you can't even comprehend through consistent action, through consistent imperfect action. It was inspired, that thought, that idea was just like breadcrumbs to lead you to take the action and release it and get the feedback. And then when you get the feedback, you're able to pivot and iterate and change it. So if you just stay in your head and you just think about how you're going to make a song, how you're going to make a video, how you're going to make a business, you're going to fail because you don't have the whole picture. You're not grounded in reality. You're just stuck in the air. And the sooner you realize this, the better. That's why I encourage all my students in Finishers Club and Only Bangers Lifestyle to hop on the tracks we do every week. We do a track every single week. And what's the purpose of that? That's the purpose of that is to get you in a momentum of the correct creation cycle, creating and releasing in the present moment. If you don't do that, you're not tapped into reality. So I'd encourage you to do that too. Join Finishers Club, and you'll have a support group to do it together with every week, every Tuesday. So create and release. Create, release, repeat. Very simple. Create, release, repeat. We're focused on mastering the energy. And we're doing quantity over quality. Because when you do more, you're naturally going to get better. If you just try to become the best and you're only working on like one song and you keep tweaking it and keep tweaking it, the person who made 10 songs is 10 times ahead of you. Because you have to put in that real life experience. It's not about how long you spend on a song. It's about your energy and your determination in the moment that penetrates that song and your trust in that moment. When Picasso paints something, he doesn't doubt his lines that he does. If he doubted them, it wouldn't be Picasso. He got to that level of mastering his craft, and then he can work fast and blast them out. And he knows what he did is a banger. That's what I want to get everyone to. That's why it's Only Bangers Lifestyle. You got to decide it's a banger. You got to know it's a banger in the depths of your being. Like, you make something great. But you can't prove that. You can't fake that either. You have to prove that to yourself. You have to become good. You have to become diligent, not just about thinking about it. You have to put in the work. You have to make beats every day. You have to write verses every day. You have to release all your music. Because then you gain that actual confidence and you start to let go of it and you start to understand how the universe operates. And then everything becomes lighter. And when that lightness comes in, you're playing again. You're like a child. You're in that childlike state of joy and flow. And from that space mixed with discipline, you're able to really achieve mastery. So I really want to leave it at that. Please join Finishers Club, finishers.club with 2 N's. If you're serious about making art your full-time job, about making your creative endeavor your full-time job, the first step is to master the correct creation cycle. Create and release in the present moment. And start that feedback cycle and start tracking your stuff. We track our stuff too. I have spreadsheets for all of my students. So go to finishers.club, and I hope to see you there. Have a great day.